What is the truth about Etsy ads? Some people say you have to max out your Etsy ad spend in order to ever get traction on Etsy. Today, I'm going to share my viewpoint on this, and I will actually give you an alternative to Etsy ads that will have a stronger ROI on both your time and money. I'm also going to share the number one biggest mistake that I see Etsy sellers making when using Etsy ads. Before we get started, please drop below how much you spend in Etsy ads every day, whether that's nothing or whether you max it out. I would love to hear. If you're new here, my name is Dylan Jarvis. I have over 13 years in e-commerce. I've been on Etsy about 8 years now, and I've made over $1 million in profit. Now I have a company where we have about 28 people, and we're teaching Etsy sellers how to scale their businesses with one-on-one private coaching. Now, my team and I, we meet with hundreds of Etsy sellers every month, and one of the first things that we want to know about is their traffic strategy. Are they focusing on paid strategies or organic strategies? And what is the success or lack of success of their efforts? I personally always preach organic first in every business that I start. The first reason is that I like to build a business that has strong organic traffic baked into the foundation, and that is just going to really help your margin long term. So if you choose to spend on ads, that can just be the icing on top, but you don't have to rely on ads in order to get sales. And it's really smart to build a business this way because then you are not handcuffed to that ad spend. The other reason is because of the quality of information and feedback that you get from organic traffic versus paid traffic, specifically with Etsy ads. So let's talk about that data and that feedback. Let's take a look at what you can see from Etsy ads. You can see how much you are spending. You can see the revenue from it, the click-through rate, and the return on that ad spend. But you have no idea what your bid threshold is at. You don't have any control over that. On the listing level, you can actually see what search terms are leading to that listing. So you can see if something is relevant or irrelevant. That is the extent of it. You don't know who is shopping. You don't know why they didn't click in, what they didn't like about that listing. We're missing so much information. And you can turn off some of those keywords that led to your listing just so Etsy knows that those were irrelevant according to you. But you don't know why the customer didn't click in after they viewed it. The data doesn't tell you how competitive your value proposition is, that combination of your listing photo and your price. And it doesn't tell you what types of customers you are successfully or maybe unsuccessfully targeting. And with organic traffic methods, you can actually get that qualitative information. With this, you can actually learn specifically what they liked or didn't like about that listing. And you'll know what to change about the product to establish product market fit. And product market fit is simply, I want to sell to this person. I want to sell them this thing that I think they want. And yes, that person likes the product enough to buy it. You'll also learn who exactly the right market is for that product much faster. So if you are mis-targeting the wrong customers with your SEO, you will learn that early on from the qualitative data through organic traffic. Because just looking at views and visits, those numbers don't tell you anything about if you are successfully targeting a profitable customer. And you might be thinking organic strategies, like what does she mean by that? So I'm talking about like Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, even things like blogging or email marketing. I always recommend exhausting these methods before turning to ads. So ads, it's like a machine. You have to keep feeding it your money. You pay for the ads, the money is gone, and poof, you have sometimes nothing to show for it and no information. With organic methods, you're getting your links out there. And in some cases, these links will grow your traffic with a compounding effect for many years, like sometimes 5 to 10 years. For example, you can pin something and then within a few years, you have 100,000 visits to that listing from warm leads, warm traffic, people who are ready to buy. And the best part, it didn't cost you anything. To get that number of visits through paid ads, the cost of that would have been astronomical. Now let's get into the biggest mistake that I see when it comes to Etsy ads. It's that people think they're making money when they're actually losing money. And sometimes it's a shockingly huge loss. So I was talking to a guy about his shop, and he was spending $100 a day on Etsy ads. In a month, it was about $3,000. And his revenue each month was about $5,000. He was pretty happy with himself, and he thought the ads ads were working. Are you kidding me? I thought to myself. These are physical products that he's selling. His cost on these products, it was way higher than $2,000. The cost of his product and fulfillment and fees, that was $4,000. Now, on top of that, he was spending $3,000 a month in ads. So he is actually negative $2,000 every month. He thought he was making $2,000. His ad spend report told him you spent $3,000 and you made $5,000. He didn't realize how much money he was losing. Let's say you are spending $10 a day on ads. It's just to advertise one listing. And let's say that listing is a $20 t-shirt. And let's say that your ad spend on Etsy was exactly $10 a day and you sold one. The ROAS is gonna say 2. You might think, great, I made $10. Not at all. Because when you look at your cost of goods sold, let's say it's $15 and then you spent $10 on top of that, it just cost you $25 to sell a $20 item. You lost $5. The point is, you have to look at your ad spend like part of your cost of goods sold. And it is a variable cost, which means it is unpredictable. So you have to know your margins very, very well in order to be successful with something like Etsy ads. So what ROAS should you have? Because ROAS, that is the return on ad spend. It really depends on your cost of goods sold. What is your margin? What margin have you built into your pricing? For example, a digital listing has lower costs of goods sold. So a lower ROAS might be okay. Whereas any product that you actually ship and that has a cost of materials, you could get into the negative very quickly, especially with Etsy ads. Now, I want to point out one more thing, is that ads are not going to work if you don't know how to do SEO. Getting traffic at all, whether that is paid or organic, it requires that you understand and implement correct SEO. If you're just listing things on Etsy, cranking up the ads, and telling yourself that you'll figure out the SEO later, it's not going to work. It's going to be a very, very expensive lesson to train Etsy ads to know what search results you should be showing up under. People see Etsy ads as a quick fix, as a crutch to rely on. It can actually be a huge money pit if you don't know what you're doing. Lastly, if you are bound and determined to spend on ads for your Etsy shop, I would not recommend Etsy ads. I would recommend something else instead. And it would not be Pinterest ads. It would not be boosting posts on Instagram. I would actually start with Facebook ads. And if you'd like to see a video about that, just let me know in the comments. All right, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be involved in our one-on-one coaching, you can always schedule a free call and we can give you a free demonstration of what that looks like. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.
After I joined the program, I gained so much clarity. Dylan is a wealth of knowledge and she shares all of her secrets with you. That coaching aspect of it, you can't get that through reading or watching videos.